Let me confirm my audio again if you can all hear me. Well, sorry, my network is a bit unstable here. All right. Good evening once again. So before I start, I would like any of us who were here last Friday to tell us briefly what he or she learned before we continue. Perhaps you have any question from the last class. Please, I want to give us the next 5 minutes to clarify issues. If there's any. If there's none, then I can proceed. Any question from the last class?
I don't think so. Well, but I think most of us have created the hosting account you told us to create after the last class.
I hardly hear what you said. Maybe it's my speaker here. But I know you
I
mentioned
don't think
hosting.
that there are questions. I only know that most of us, yes, I don't know, but I've created the account, the hosting account you told us to create after last class the other time.
Okay, so if I may ask, how many of us have hosted? How many
I've
who
done
have?
mine.
Eh?
I've done mine. I've created my hosting account.
Okay. Have you hosted, not just created the account, have you hosted? Have you been able to buy the domain name and the URL? Domain name and the
I've not
file?
bought. I've not bought, sir.
Okay, so you're supposed to have done that before this class, because after this class now, you will need it to practice. So you can actually still attend this class, but before the next class, make sure you must have gotten your domain and your file space so that you can have access to the control panel where you will definitely exploit the WordPress for your web design. All right, so without wasting time, let me just proceed with today's assignment. We have a couple of topics lined up for this evening section. But before I dive into those topics, I would like to quickly give a brief recap on what we did last time theoretically. What we did last time was a general introduction to WordPress web design. That was what we did last time, where I told us that WordPress is a content management system which helps us to create websites by using theme and templates. And I explained the difference between theme and templates, where I said the term theme means the entire structure of your website in WordPress, which we usually design or create with HTML if you are using programming language method. Then I also talked about the templates, where I said the template is the contents, that forms the shape and the pages across your website. Now, the next thing we learned was hosting. I told us that before you can use WordPress to build websites, you have to own a hosting package. You need to host. And I took my time to explain what hosting is all about. I remember I said web hosting simply means buying two things. One, you are buying the URL, that is the www, which represents the address in which the user can always access your content on the internet, which you must have purchased and saved in a server. Then I also talk about buying a file space during the hosting outside the address that will always take the users to your content in the internet service provider server where you must have uploaded your web content. So buying the space where your content will be stored in the company you patronize server, it is called file hosting. So two things you are actually buying. Okay, HP, I've said it before, if for any reason you want us to see your video, make sure that it's not distracting anybody. Let your face and your movement be stable. Okay, or you turn the video off like others. All right. So these are the two things that are involved under web hosting, which I said they are must-do stuff. Now, once you have hosted, remember to talk about the process or the processes involved for you to be able to host your website. I said you have to start by launching a browser, being it Google Chrome or any other type of browser you have installed in your system. After that, you have to visit the website address of the hosting company you want to use. But in this case, we use Google Host as our hosting service provider. Now, you click on it, and that will take you to their own homepage where you can actually navigate around their available pages. Now, for you to create an account, I said you go to my account, and that will prompt you a homepage for you to be able to create your account. So an interface like this. And I told us that if you have an account with them already, all you need to do is to enter the email address you were given at the time you were creating the address, supply the password you also created, and then click on login. So by venture you don't have an account, you have to go through register new, and that will prompt you a form, which I said you fill in detail, and that will give you access to your account. So, but for mine, I have already created the account, and I have saved my login details on the browser cookies. So all I need to do is just to click on login, and that will take me to the page. I hope you don't have network issue. So you are trying to log into a new IP. Please check your email to confirm your login. So this is actually for security reason. So what I will simply do is for me to go to the email and check if they have sent any information. So let me quickly go to Yahoo Mail and then check my email. So they say action required. So let me click here to find out what is happening. Okay, yeah, so they are trying to make sure that I'm the right person actually trying to log in. So I will just say what? It is me, and that will allow me to walk into my client's dashboard. let me wait for it to open. Oh, and it's all right. So I am back. Now I have been confirmed that I'm actually the right person. Then I will now finally log in with my detail. Now they are asking me for authentication code. So I told us that there is an application that you have to install in your phone, which is called Authenticator. So that is your new introduced system. So let me access it on my phone and be able to find out what the code I need to enter is all about. Okay, so I have the code here. 14380. All right, so with that, I have been successfully logged in. So I'm in my client's dashboard. Now, I told us the importance of this dashboard that I am in right now. The importance of this dashboard is to help me to manage all my client websites. So each time you host a website for your clients, you should be able to what? To see their URL and also to know their status, whether they are active or they have expired. So all these websites, their URL, their domain are what? Active. Now, what we are actually doing is we are looking at how to set up our WordPress. So there are a few topics we are focusing on tonight. And tonight is one of the most important aspects of this program. So just make sure that get your writing material around you and make sure that the class is going on. You are noting your key points. Do not always wait for the video. Sometimes it might confuse you. All right. So make sure that at least you are writing some key steps down. Now, all these steps that I am following, you must follow it before you can access your WordPress for the installation. After the installation, we might not need to go through all these processes before we can access it, because then we will have been assigned WordPress backend or dashboard login detail, where we can always log into the dashboard and be able to post our content to the front end. Okay, but for the first time that you want to set it up, you must log in to your cPanel. Now, there is a password and the user ID that they will have sent to your email, which ordinarily you just type the URL you hosted /cPanel, and that will also take you to where we are going to now. But if you have a client account like this, you can also access the cPanel through your dashboard, and that is the method I am using tonight. So now I've been able to access all my active website URL. Now, what we are actually looking for is the hosting file. That is where you should be, not our domain. So you go to hosting. Remember, we talk about different types of hosting in that class. We are talking about share hosting, cloud hosting. So I'll go to what? Share hosting. So from share hosting, these are the websites you have purchased a space for, and you can see they are all except this particular one that have 15 gigabytes because it's for a client. I think it's for Delta State Ministry of Water Resources that I'm developing this website for. So because of the nature of their activities, that is the reason why I have to buy up to 15 gigabytes for them. Now, but all these ones are for small businesses that will not actually attract huge traffic at the beginning. That is why they settle for 888 gig. So if you have hosted and you follow this step, you should be brought to this place. So in your own case, you will see only one because your dashboard may not have all this history. Mine has, because I have hosted all this website. That is why they are displayed here. Now, the one I want to use to teach us tonight is this very one. So mind you, once you host, you have access to something like this with the URL name you hosted that will enable you to go through these same steps I am going through now. So if I want to go to the cPanel of this particular address, I will trace it to where I have the manage. So once I click on the manage, it will prompt me what cPanel. So this is what I am actually looking for. So I will select the cPanel, and that will take me to the cPanel environment. So I have to close some of this interface that I'm not using so that I won't have too many windows open. So let me close. So I have just this. So this is the back end we are talking about of every website. And this back end is structured in different segments. The first segment offers us features for handling or managing anything that has to do with email. So by the time we get to the email setup, you will see me coming back to this place to access what? Or to create what we call web mail. Web mail is different from the traditional mail you know. When we get to that, you will understand that. Now, there's another session which is called the file session. So for those that are building website manually on their laptop, when they are done designing, they are expected to come to this file session to upload their file. But in our own case, we are installing WordPress. That is why I'm skipping all this. We have nothing to do around here. Now, in the database, we have nothing to do with database because of WordPress, but we'll come back later to show you where the form that you'll be creating, or the form you will create in your web pages will be submitting their data into. So that is when I will come back here to show us how you can check where the form must have submitted the record into. Now, domain, this is where you can manage your domain, your social media management, if you have linked them, your domain, your redirect, your site jets, all this, your DNS, all this, anything that has to do with domain in case you are having issue. This is where, these are the features they have made available for us to handle that. Metric, this is where you can check your website performance, the analysis status, the bandwidth, how many visitors have visited your website, and the devices they use. You can always access them through here. Now, your security, this is where you have SSL. This is where you have the security, the two-factor authentication. You saw what just happened now. I have to, retrieve the authentication code from my phone, which they recommended for every user of this hosting service to install an authenticator in their phone so that they will use it to verify their login, like I did now. Now we are going somewhere. Now this is where we are going. This is where you will access WordPress. This is WordPress logo. What are we learning now? In case you want to write it out, what I'm teaching us right now is how to install and set up WordPress. That is the first thing you should do. And we are not using offline method. There is an offline method which I may teach us toward the end, which I decided to make optional. Now that offline method is that you download the entire WordPress into your system, but then you must have installed a local server called a XAMPP server or WAMP server for you to be able to run it. But in this case, we are installing it in an online server. So whatever we are designing, even as I'll be designing here, you can be seeing the result directly from your phone over there. So this is the method that is recommended for professionals. You don't have to start downloading or building locally, and then later you start uploading and start configuring database. That is like you are wasting time. The only disadvantage of this online installation of WordPress is that as you are developing, you are connected to the internet. That is, you are consuming your data. Now, once you get here, this Subtaculous is the marketer of WordPress, is the company that is marketing WordPress. Now, what every hosting company or services does is that they have an agreement with WordPress as a way of driving traffic, as a way of encouraging individuals to host under them. So part of the reason is that they have WordPress already added as a free gift. So what we are going to learn now is the one they give to us free, the one we don't have to pay for. So the only thing you are paying for is the hosting package. So every hosting company around the world, as far as I know today, has WordPress integrated as a free package that is given to you. So this free package is actually embedded into this what our web hosting services company in order to encourage people to learn. Because if you want to buy a licensed version of WordPress, it will cost you not less than 130,000 to buy a team in order to build website for a client. But the ones you are going to use to learn in this program, they are free team. They are free team. They are not a pro team. They are not team that you have to pay for. So the idea is that after learning, the way you customize this free template, that is how you customize the pro versions. So the customization remain the same. So if you can learn with this free version and you are able to build a professional website, then if you buy a team, it's easier because if you are paying for a team, they will guarantee you of assistance. If you are asking some questions, in case you are not finding it easier or easily to edit certain parts of their website team, they are very much available to assist you. But if you are building with a free version, like we are going to do now, there are a lot of constraints. There are some things that whenever you want to access them, they will tell you that you can only use the average version. You cannot use the pro. So which means that it is more difficult to learn with the free version than the paid version, because the paid version comes with a lot of what assistance. In fact, they will give you a video that you will watch on how to walk around the entire team you are buying. But for this one, we are not given such video. Okay, so now that you understand that, let's go ahead and install the WordPress before we install our theme. Okay, so in my slide here, I have explained what I'm about to teach us. Let me just take out there briefly and then come back to the practical so that you can have a solid background on what I want to do. So this is part of what we did last time. Trying to get to where my today plan is. Okay, so this is my plan. The very one I'm taking us now is WordPress installation / setup. WordPress installation / setup is the first thing you should know. If every WordPress web developer understand what we mean by what? The installation. So now, what do we mean by the term WordPress installation? It refers to the process of setting up the WordPress content management system, CMS, on a web server. You can create and manage a website or blog. Now, let's look at the step-by-step So all these steps that I've highlighted, they are the steps I am going to follow. So why I brought us here is that once I switch back, I will not be coming back here because I have already summarized the step. So the first thing for you to be able to install WordPress, you have to buy a domain and hosting plan, which we have done last time. Now, and if you want to do that, these are the short steps under them. You choose a host, e.g. Bluehost, Hostinger, Namecheap. All these are different companies. Now, you log into your hosting account. You saw the way I was logging in. So that is the process I capture under step 2. Then step 3, locate WordPress installer. Subtaculous. Remember, I just showed us now. This is how you were able to what? To locate it. Now, look for Subtaculous, WordPress installer, or similar in cPanel or dashboard. Step 4 will be you click on WordPress install. Then step 5, you click on install. Step 6, you log into your WordPress dashboard, and then the rest is history. Once you log into your WordPress dashboard, you are in your own world. You can start creating your content as you want it. So I have summarized all the steps. Now, I will not be coming back here, but you will just see me observing those steps. So we are at step 2 or 3 that says locate the WordPress installer. So I'll click on it. Now it brought us to this place. I have installed 1, 2, 3, 4 under this account. You can actually install multiple websites. Now, the business idea of this is this. You can decide to host as a digital marketer. And then after hosting, you can meet all those small outlets, all those small businesses, and tell them that you can advertise their product on the website based on certain commission. That is, you can be helping them to drive sales or to drive traffic. That is, from your website, people can be connected to their Facebook, and then from there, perform transaction with them, and then end up putting money in their pocket. So that can be a career you want to choose or build around WordPress. You can just be doing that. Use your money to host it. And then you can be advertising, you can be creating different pages for different businesses. So when somebody log into the website, there is a dedicated page for advertising Mr. Peter content. There is another page for advertising Mr. John content. And then as you're advertising, you are being paid for showcasing their product on the internet. I just want to sell that idea. So that is exactly what you see happening here. So this is just like I hosted a website, and under this website, I was able to create different WordPress accounts. Each of them, they are like sub websites under the main website. Okay, so now if you host your own, the whole of this place will be empty. You are not going to see anything here. Okay, the only thing you will see is this row. You are going to see install, you will see scan, you will see report remote import, you will see manage set, you will see security measure and feature plugins. So now you click on install. I hope you are writing your step as I am taking them. You click on install. After selecting install, you are prompted to this section, which is broken into segments. The whole of this part is referred to as software setup. The whole of this part is referred to as site setting. And then admin account. I'm going to show us how these are the onboarding features. So let's just continue from the top so that you understand it step by step. Now, if your website, if you purchase SSL, which means the security feature in your website, you choose the one with S so that it will carry what? The padlock, or it will show that this website is secure. And the benefit of that is that Google SEO, that is what search engine optimization, will be able to rank your website such that when anybody is searching for a product on the internet, once they use any of the keywords you use in your website,
For example, you display a product name called computer. So if anybody type on Google, where can I buy computer? For the fact that they mention computer, Google will display your website URL and direct them to that page, and then probably what to purchase from you. So if your website does not have security, Google will not lead people into such a website because it will see it as if it's leading people to where they can be scammed. So that is why when you are hosting for a real website, make sure that you purchase SSL, security feature. In those days, it used to be a padlock, but now it has a different sign, like 3-line like that, with dots at the edge. So now, the next thing is I am going to define the directory where this particular WordPress will be installed in the WordPress file section. I don't know if I still have it here. In the WordPress file section. Now, I have used just wheezycollection.com.ng/WP, which means if somebody wants to access this particular site I want to install now, the person will type the main person's name completely and then slash his own word extension, which is WP. Now, a practical example of what I'm saying is just like you rent a shop and someone, which could be your friend, comes to you that I don't have money to rent shop. Please, out of that shop that you have rented, please, can you give me some space to be marketing my product? That is what we are doing here. So if I remove this here now, this is the main person installation, which means that what? This person is the owner of the website that does not need to seek for extra space before he or she displays his products or her products. But if I want to give that friend a space, then I will say WP, maybe because from that installation, I noticed that I've used WP1, WP2. So let me just try to use an extension that I know very well that I've not used. Let's say what? WP18. So which means that for this particular person to see his or her content, he must type my full URL as the person granting him or her space. He must acknowledge me 100% by typing www.joswizzycollection.com.ng before putting what? /WP18 before he can see his or her content. So we are going to verify all that. So that is how to configure this space. Now, why I took my time to explain this, if you host a website for a client that paid you 600,000, 500,000 to develop a website and you choose to use WordPress, please, when you get to this place, don't put anything here because it's the right owner of the website. It's not the person you are giving space. Make sure that when you get here, you do not type anything. We show that you are installing it in the real directory. But in this case, you are a client. So I am creating this one for our practice and this training. So that is why I put what? WP18. Then after that, you can see it has generated your installation URL. So if you have a friend that you want to send this link to so that they can be seeing whatever you are developing, you can just copy it and send it to them. So if they want to be seeing whatever you are developing, like I am going to send it to you, or you can just copy it so that whatever I am doing, you can also be accessing it right from there. Okay, so that is how you can see the label here in directory. Directory means what? The storage. Where are you storing this installation? So this installation will be stored in a folder called WP18. That is what it means. Now, the version of the installation, WordPress have different versions, but unfortunately, the higher version will always be selected. So even if you forget to come to this place, just be rest assured that WordPress must have what? Automatically selected the default higher version or highest version. So now I move to the site section. I hope you are taking note of what I'm doing under each of this section. Okay, so now I move to the site setting. Now, under site setting, you have to be professional when you are doing this, because anybody designing websites using WordPress, like I highlighted in our previous class, that the highest benefits of using WordPress to build websites is that every website you build on WordPress is to an extent Google what optimized. That is, it's not the kind of website that when people are searching for a product that has been published in that website or any contents that have been published in that website, that will be difficult for Google to what? To rank. To rank. That is why we digital marketer, this WordPress is one of the programs that is recommended for us to build our digital contents, because digital marketer focus is for whatever they are publishing on the internet to target audience. So you must choose the platform that helps you, or a channel that helps you to target your audience once they are identified. That is why if you go through the programming method, it will make it difficult for you to what? For Google to rank your website, because you have to start going to metadata and start trying to, to create keyword that Google can use to rank your website. But for WordPress, all you need to do with that mindset, you should be careful, or you should be professional with how you define your website name. So your website name is the name of that customer's website. For example, if I am building this website for DigiTech Hub, so that is what I should type there. So whoever you are building this website for, you ask for the name of their company or business. That is what you input here. It is not what you think on your own as a developer. So let's say I am building it for AYZ, AYZ NG Limited. So let's say this is the company I am building this website for. So you input it here. Now, under site description, one of the main factors Google uses in ranking people's websites in its own search engine, it is what? Eye-catching description. Make sure that your description is a keyword that somebody will be searching for. Now, let me sell this idea, because I'm borrowing us most of this thing from digital marketing class. Now, because as a developer, people that will consult you to build website for them, they are business people, and there's a reason why they will call you to build website, because they want to optimize their business. They want to drive sales. They want to generate leads. So the website is not just for fancy. So every developer is supposed to have digital marketing mindset, knowing that, okay, the content that will be published in this website I am consulted to build, the purpose of the owner of this website is to generate what? Sales. If not, I will be sacked. When it expires, the person will be reluctant in renewing it, because he must have calculated that the first 1 year you build the website for him or her, he or her have not what? Make any money. Nobody have ever called them that I was searching on the internet and I got to know about you. So once they get that kind of information, they will know that, yeah, the work of the developer is actually what? Yielding results. And that's why I'm taking my time to sell all these digital marketing skills to you guys. Okay? Now, site description. Be careful with the word you use here, because it's the word that Google will use to search. Google prioritize your description. For example, what is this website all about? What is this business all about? Is it about selling car? If it is e-commerce, you must find out the niche. What is this business all about? Who are the people that this business is trying to reach? Who are the consumer of this business product? These are the questions you should be asking yourself before you define your site description. So if this business is about selling electronic, let's say it's about selling what? Electronic. Or let's say real estate management or real estate website. So if it is real estate website, then I should go and ask ChatGPT, because you cannot really work with WordPress without working with what? One of the AI what? Chatbots. Because that is what we leverage on these days. Now, for example, if this is an electronic business and I don't know the keyword I'm to use to describe it, what I'll simply do is to create an account with ChatGPT, and then I will tell ChatGPT, once I describe my business niche, ChatGPT will be able to create what you are looking for you. I just hope that the internet does not slow me down. Now we just assume anyone and proceed. So I'm trying to quickly switch to ChatGPT so that will show us how to prompt content. Okay, so while it's loading, so since I said this is real estate, okay, thank God it has opened. So I'll click on ChatGPT. So while it's loading, okay, I think the network is. Give me 1 minute. Oh, okay, so we are here. So I can just tell ChatGPT that ask. So when you are hearing AI helping professional today, this is what we are talking about. AI has not come to delete professional. AI has come to make the journey difficult for average people. Saying AI has not come to delete, to take the job from professional. That is why whatever test skill you are learning, put all your effort and know it very well. If not, AI will just make the job difficult for you. But for us, the professional, we leverage on AI because we know the technical know-how. We know what we want. We are vast in the field. We know what to ask AI. But if you bring a non-professional here now, we'll be looking at the AI because they don't have that experience. They have not done it before. So they will just be wandering around it without knowing what to ask for. For me, as a professional, I know how to use the AI. So I will just tell AI, act as a web developer. Act as a web developer. Help me to generate high converting description for an electronic business. So once I press enter, watch what AI will do for us within a few seconds. Internet is trying to search. Internet is a bit slow. Let me open up what I've said before. This is internet, so let's give it some time. Okay, so let me just say, help me Let me take it again. Help me generate high converting description for an electronic business. Okay, now you can see it within few seconds. Top brand you trust, nationwide delivery. So you not check. You have to read whenever you have that. Now, look at what is sure. Here are what high converting business description for what electronic business. You can customize it, your specific niche, phones, gadgets, accessories, or home appliances. So I can come back to where I was creating it and say what? Says, delete whatever you have here. Says of all kinds of electronic gadgets. Or you can simply say what? Electronic gadgets. So which means that if somebody is searching on Google and the person use the word says, Google can what? Can rank, can pop up your website as an option that they can go into to check for what they just type as a keyword. If they type anything electronic, Google can also rank your website. If they type anything gadgets, if anybody is searching for gadgets, Google will also rank you. That is the meaning of this. So you just have to decide. For just to make it shorter, I can just say what? About electronic gadgets. Sorry, about this somehow. About electronic gadgets, or you can simply just leave it as what? Electronic gadgets. So you just have to consider all these factors. Now, once you are done with that, the next thing you are going to do, you have to consider this account section. So you create your account. Your username, I will decide to use a admin because I can easily remember admin. Then you create your password here, a very strong password. So the password, I can just say what? Password is Bob. Help me to write this password down. I can ask for it in the next class. Just help me to write this detail. Admin username is what? Admin. The admin password is WordPress at 2025. I believe Kings Bob will have helped me to note this, or any other person that can help me to write it down. So my username is admin, then my password is this. Has anybody helped me to write it down? WordPress at, I believe I will remember. Okay, let me continue. Now, once it shows strong, then you can go ahead with it. Now, most of the things here, they are optional. Now, this is the email where this installation details will be mailed to. Now, enable multi-site. When you hover on this, you will know what it is. This feature will enable multi-site option for your WordPress blog, but they are not compulsory, so you can do away with them. Now, this is where we are going. Now, all this pro version of the marked plugins will be installed for free, but you can decide which one you want. So I want to say something here. I may need this if I want to download the content, the theme that I want to use. So I'll leave this word on. Now, if I want to improve the speed of the page, that is, these are like plugins. These are softwares that have been pre-designed in order to what? To contribute to the performance of your WordPress website, so that people will not be complaining that the website is slow loading. So that is why they brought this. If you want to use it, you check it. Anyone you feel that you don't need, you uncheck it. Backup. Whatever you are doing, you would like it to be backing up. If you want it, the same thing. Everything here, they are optional. No one is compulsory. You can uncheck everything and continue. But please always make sure that you leave this unbonding. I don't need it. I don't need it because I am going to show us how to install our theme, which is the right way you are supposed to learn it. So in the course of the training, I will install another one because I will install another theme. Then I will use this so that you understand the two ways. When you use this, the way the environment look like. When you don't use this, how it look like. So I don't also need this because I will consider it after installation. Then every other thing, I think I need them. The only two things that I turn off, I need this. So I remove this and this. And I'll tell all the reason later on, because even if I tell you now, it may not make sense. When we start seeing some practical side effects, then if I mention it, you will understand it better. So once you have done that, you choose the language you are using for the installation. So this installation, WordPress can be installed with all these languages. Choose English. Then when you are through with this, you select the email it should be installed to. You can put your own conventional email here or use any other email. So if you expand it, you see what? Some options which are under advanced option. So this is where you have details about your database. For now, you will not understand anything here. When we come to working with database, I will bring us back here so that you understand what this is all about. So I will collapse this session and just proceed with my installation. We scroll up. Now we are installing WordPress. So we give it some time until it's count till sharp. So we have installed WordPress. Now, I just ask you to help me to write certain details down. The username and the username and what? The username and the password, the admin username and the admin password. So the next thing I want to teach us now is that after the installation, how do you log in to the WordPress backend dashboard? Because you don't have to go through this process that we went through the other time. We came to cPanel, and then before we were able to know, you don't need all that. Once you have installed it, like I said before, you just open a browser. Once you open a browser, you type the whole of that URL. This is the URL we are given. From what? www.justwizzy.collection.com.ng/WP18. So once you highlight, let me take the whole of this. Once you type this on a browser, on a new page here in the address location, you paste it there, you will see that once you type this, it will ask you for that user name and the what? The password. So once you have set up an account, next time you want to go to your WordPress dashboard to continue what? Modifying or building your website, you just type that URL, and then when it brings out this, you type admin. Admin, I know the password was WordPress at 2025. So you can just view it here. That is it. And then you can say it should remind you next time. And then you click on login. So that will automatically take us to the WordPress we just installed now. So let's watch out to see. You can see it has already picked your name, AYZ Nigeria Limited. So let's give it some time. Just want us to understand how it works, how you can log into your WordPress installation. So you can see dashboard. So finally, we are in WordPress dashboard. So this is, I can save this login details so that subsequently it does not ask me to log in. So anytime I want to visit my WordPress installation, which is the back end you are going to be using for the design, you are to type the complete URL /wp/wp, then -admin. That is how you can always visit your WordPress dashboard or WordPress admin dashboard. All right. Now, so now that we are here, I will now give room for questions before I continue with the next topic. If there's anything that is not clear to you from what I've explained so far, ask your question. No question, right? Can I proceed? Please, I need a response, good or bad. Any question? I cannot actually hear anyone.
Please proceed, sir. No question.
Okay, no question. All right. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is WordPress theme and template. Now, let me show us why you need theme and template. But before that, let's look at this. A WordPress theme is a collection of templates, style sheets, and code files that control the design, layout, and overall appearance of your WordPress website. A WordPress template is a layout or structure used to render individual parts of your website like posts, pages, category, and etc. So that is the next thing. So how do I know if I have installed theme or template? From your WordPress admin dashboard, which is this place, navigate to this home icon. You want to see the front end, how the user will see it. You can type this on your phone right there in a browser, and you'll be seeing whatever I'm doing here. But while I am a WordPress dashboard, how do I check the front end? Because as I am developing here, I am supposed to be viewing, to be checking how the content I am developing will be presented to the users. Okay, so how do you check the front end? You click on this icon, right click on it, and select open in a new tab. So whenever you are working WordPress, have your dashboard open on one side, have the front end open on the other side. So you can see the front end, no content. This is the only thing you have because you have not installed theme. Because the theme and the templates, they are what forms the content of your website. Remember that drag and drop page layer that I unchecked. Remember that I unchecked two things. The AI assistance and the drag and drop page layer. Now, if I have left that drag and drop page layer on, that is what will have given us what? Content. So instead of giving us an empty web page where there are no links, we don't have home here, we don't have about, we don't have a gallery, we don't have service page, we don't have shop page. If it is an e-commerce website, we don't have any of such. We don't have a navigation bar, we don't have footer. The footer we even have here is not well organized. So which means that you have not installed theme. So the next thing I want to teach us now is how to install theme. I hope you should be writing down your step. To install theme after you have installed the WordPress, what we have completed so far is the installation of the WordPress, because you must host before you can install WordPress, before you can install theme. Now I am going to the theme installation. So you go to the back end, which is your admin dashboard. So from here, you now go to appearance. You go to appearance. The whole of this place is the control panel of WordPress. Everything you are going to be programming or coding, or let's say everything you are going to be creating, but we are not coding here, everything you are going to be creating will be leveraged on what is available to you here. So now you can see that I'm not teaching us what appearance is, what can be accessed under it, because that is how you are going to be learning all this based on the tasks we are performing that will determine which one of these panel has it. Now we want to install theme. So once you come to appearance, you select what? Theme. So I hope the internet should be fast. Okay. Now, this is the theme environment. So this is the very one that is active. 2025 theme. The one that came without any content. The one you are viewing now is this one. Now, all these ones are the default that came, which does not have any reasonable content. So you will now say, you now go to add theme, because all of these ones, they are not reliable, or they are not professional theme. You cannot use any of these to build a stunning website or professional website. So what we are going to do now, you search here. You search here. Now, let's say you want to build an e-commerce website. So you search for what? E-commerce. Once you type e-commerce, it will bring all the themes that are associated with e-commerce. If you want to build maybe educational website, once you type education here, it will also bring you the list of theme and template. I just told you what theme and template are. These are what form the structure of your website. These are what define the content of your website and the presentation, the design. That is why I use the word style sheet, which represents your CSS. So let's assume that I want to design, if it is real estate, whatever type of website you want to build, WordPress can build it. It's just for you to know the keyword to search for that type of website. So if I type e-commerce, you can see that as I type what, just E-C-O, it dropped down this, and it's telling us that what, theme not found. But let's click on this word, add theme first, and see what we have. Good, let's come here so that we can have access to the online. So the moment you click on add, you can see that what, we are now beginning to see professional theme other than the one we were seeing before. All these ones, they are already built websites, because that is why we refer to it as content management system. This is not a method where you are the one building the content from the scratch. This is a method where the house has been built with some properties. You are inheriting them, and then you are restructuring them to suit the type of house you want to have. So when a customer who deals with car business call you, you come here and get a theme, change all the content, all the picture to that car business. When a customer who deals with education calls you to build a website for him or her, you get a theme here, and then you also change all the content to suit that person. So that is what WordPress is all about. So the coding will have been done. So as you install it now, all the code, you have also installed it. Okay, so now I will glance through all this and see whether any of these can actually fit into the kind of website I want to build. Now, since it's an e-commerce website, I'll just come here and type what? E-commerce. E-commerce. So let's see. Once you type this, you give it some time. This is internet, so just hold up. Good. So these are the ones that came under what? E-commerce. Okay, so there was an error, so we couldn't get it. So let's search again. Let me search again. So let me search again. E-commerce. Okay, the network is fluctuating. So I'm trying to search again. Let's see what happened. So I'm trying to search again. So let's just say business. Let me use another keyword so that I'll be sure where the error is coming from. So this is actually internet, but let's give it some time. At least we are supposed to have at least an output. So you can actually search from this. I just wanted to see the default search. You can actually come to popular. You can come to latest. Sorry, the network is actually disturbing. Network. Yeah, it's important part of. But let me search again. Let me just see with just ECO, it should be able to output. It's actually a network issue. Let's hold on. Unexpected up wrong with WordPress or server configuration. If you continue. So this is server. Then keep searching. Okay, so let me just refresh again. Let's refresh and come back to it again. It's the network. Okay, so go to add team. Let's re-log in. So ordinarily we are supposed to see some default. That's us. Okay, so let's search now. Let's say e-commerce. Okay, good. So we are here now. Good. So these are different e-commerce theme that you can install. Now, you can actually view them to see what they have. You can browse them. You can right-click and just to view how it is structured before you proceed with installation. You can browse the pages. You can check it out before you proceed with your installation. So if you don't like it, cancel it, you go back and check for another one. But because it's just training, I will just choose anyone. I will just choose anyone. What will I choose here? Let me choose this. So now you have to install it and then activate it to make sure that you are following. Because I will stop after installing the theme. That is where we are going to stop in this section. So the next section is how to start editing the theme to become our own website. How we can start changing those things that the theme actually came with, which is called the WordPress customization, where we are going to be leveraging on widgets and some other plugins based on the aspects you want to edit. So once it's installed, you have to also activate it. So two things are involved. Now, thank you for choosing electronic store, e-commerce, get whatever, blah, blah. It means that it has been installed. So if you come back here now, you can see what you have here now. Now, the last time that we visited this place, we were seeing an empty space. Now, let's refresh it and see whether we want to see that theme and the content. Perfect. So you can see it now. Our website is fully ready. So you can see it. Remember the last time there was nothing there when we installed the WordPress. So you now have some pages. You see, this is the navigation bar that it came with. This is the body. These are some important sections. All this you will not start. In the next class, we'll start learning how we can change this picture to our own picture, depending on the kind of website you are building, then and all of that. Since it's an e-commerce website, we are going to learn how to create shopping page. We are going to learn how to activate a payment gateway. Somebody should be able to buy products from our website. So all of this will be fully implemented in the next class. So you can, all this content, we will learn how to change them, how to customize them to our own content, such a way that when next you open this website, even the person that created this theme will not know that it is his or her theme that you use in building your own. So if you click here now, there are different content under each of these. So question, please, if you don't have question, my assignment today, which is supposed to be the topic to cover in day 2, have been covered. What are the topics I plan to cover? 1, how to install WordPress, how to install theme and content. So we have theme already, and then we have content. All these are content. If there's any you don't have question, then we will call it a night. Now, what you need before you can actually practice in the next class, you should have hosted so that you can set up your assignment is you should host, like I taught us in our previous class, host, and then after hosting, go to your email. You saw the way we went through it the other time. You go to your email or you follow your client's page, just like the way I got here this evening, and then set up your WordPress and then make sure that you install what? Theme. So that as soon as I start editing my own, for example, I'm going to start with this place, how to create other pages. Like I will want gallery, but it's not here. I will want other pages that are not here. So I will start by teaching us how we can add additional pages, how we can even delete some of this one that came with the theme installation. So for example, in that class, it's going to be I walk, you walk. Once I have edited anything here, I will ask you to do it in the class. As we are editing, you are also editing. That is how you learn WordPress. Not that you just watch somebody teaching you everything and then you are not practicing. No. So the level we are now, that's the reason why I'm stopping here, so that everybody can go and get their hosting done, so that we can be able to install the WordPress, so that when I edit, you should be able to edit over there. Any question before we draw the curtain for this section?
No question.
So can somebody recap the process again? Let's say you want to install your WordPress. Can somebody recap the steps we have gone through so far? Just tell me that, sir, for you to do this, you go to this place, you go to this other place. Just recap it. Let me know if you were following.
Okay. You said, first of all, buy our domain and hosting plan. Second, after buying a domain and hosting plan, you go to our